Hello, Northstar here with another Rebel and Let's Play. I've had my absolute fill of the nonsenses that I get subjected to with the Pistachio Forest map. It's utter nonsense. Also, this preview is like zoomed in, hyper zoomed in a specific area. It doesn't show the whole map, interestingly. But I'm just feeling cheeky and really pissed off. So it is cheat time. Home by Christmas. Insurgents or stronger attacks sooner. Challenging. Can you enable multiple cheats? What's the deal with? Shuffling of initiatives. Iron Man. Yeah, you can activate more than one. I wonder if you get let's see if I get the little things. Home by Christmas and fake news. Why the heck not? Okay. Yeah, it's gonna give me this obnoxious warning, but you know. Why the heck not? I'm rather annoyed at these pricks who make this game of trying, as I said, to force players to buy their new DLC. It's obnoxious behavior. Huh. Armchair Architect, and that's where my HQ started? This could have been a decent map without the cheats. Might have. Whatever. Does not matter to me. Little anti-corruption is still useful because even if I'm not worrying about rep, it still affects support, but mostly it's also a kind of practice for oh, they attack on day one, really? Guess it's not such good practice. That's so different from the main game mode. But whatever. Keep this a little bit interesting. Fake news and Home by Christmas. For those who never seen anyone play with cheat modes before, well, here you go, right? Wow, they're everywhere. Still need support green zones for money, if nothing else. That's a lot of insurgents in that zone already. For more coalition troops, I guess. Just put in there so I can get combat support sooner. Just those guys to fight him there. Drop them into the mountains. Yeah, this is okay. This is nothing like the standard mode. Need infrastructure. After this, I'd probably go and record some Mountain Blade, Warband. Yeah, it still tracks the reputation loss. Interesting. Highways. Combat boosts and moving troops around. This corridor. And main roads. It's worth noting a lot of these are, if it was really leaning into the cheat mode, I wouldn't have the realist, for instance, but yeah. Costs are needing to come down a little on some of this. Or healthcare. Maybe from a roleplay perspective, it's a super effective sensor. I don't know. This is just kind of ridiculous. Oof. Wait, these are there? Let's not lose that garrison. Water supplies. And here we go with the job stuff. Development discussions. So far, it's just an Echo uniform. Which is a rural area. Dual livestock development. Gah! All back, I guess. Serpents are ridiculously strong on this map. This mode. It'd be funny if I lost here, of course. Hadn't optimized it all for decrease corruption, increase support. Nice. Alright, time for district reps. National soldiers. Reason not to a long extension here. Oh, mid-rep. Just to gather intel there. A little bit. And now I'm back. Any more coalition troops? Because this is bonkers. Still that reach office? Outreach. Green zone's still giving me more cash after all. See if I can find out if there's a camp or something there. Foreign Relations Office. Didn't hurt to delay it a little because corruption is reducing support. Maybe I can get intel on Delta Kilo. militia. Coalition troops, you're going to be here forever, pretty much. I've already lost if I'd actually done this normally. Whatever. Don't need antagonized insurgents, I'll just delay. Don't need the rep, because unlimited rep. Delay peace talks. Insurgents launching ambushes from wheat fields. Oh, that's a new one for this map. Coalition soldiers are requesting permission to destroy extensive wheat fields. What's insurgents have launched ambushes from? What should Alpha Fire do? Destroying compensate, burn down the wheat fields, eliminate the threat, compensate the farmers, help them reestablish their business, decrease zone support. Destroy the fields, burn the wheat fields, eliminate the threat of ambush. Significantly decrease zone support level. Chance of the farms collapse, more insurgent fighters, or refuse to destroy farms, soldiers have to learn to deal with ambushers. Destroy and compensate. It's doing nothing will create a combat debuff. That's not doing anything useful. Send these guys there. He's there. Bring in some airstrikes. Civil assistance. Get a lot of things out faster, including militia. Oops, all pressure and work. More national soldiers. And encryption teams are whelmed. Taking encryption 2. Barrel attachments. Still lose this by, for instance, losing my HQ, so can't just do nothing. Your media office. I see a ton of insurgents and a ton of lack of stability. Electricity. Garrison time. Roll outreach. Expansion. Strike hit civilians. Cover up. International assistance. Pays for itself in terms of getting stuff rolled out faster. Oh, bloody A. Probably means there's going to turn out to be something around there. Inadequate procurement boosting corruption, which is to say, it's trying to force me to do effective procurement. And soon. First combat reinforcements there. There we go. Procurement. Dirt roads. And access for cherries so inflation doesn't get too out of control. Pressure on the rival. Main roads 2. There's insurgents there. Whoopsie daisy. Homes. And rights. Job concerns. Corruption. Still can't do any corruption purges. I guess it requires corruption 4 with the anti-corruption 4 with the general. Tory upgrades for national troops. push there. The garrison. Go outreach. Dirt roads 2. Fun, fun, fun. The $40 in funding. Support garrison areas like here, or at least less loss of support. Maybe I could inform. This guy's to help raw initiatives as well as to not antagonize by being in one place too long. Place recruitment. General's engagement, so I hit fewer civies. More please still. Sanitation. 10 more support. Fewer hostile pops. Development Bank. Later remote subsidies. Universal justice for higher support. Remote subsidies. Sanitation. Ridiculous number of extensions there. Corruption purge. Corruption is just out of control. Just count my support. Apologize for airstriking civilians. National soldiers. Pushing the mountains. Get more upgrades. Engagement further. Arms upgrade. It's great for ever deployments of soldiers. Another camp. Telecoms. Corruption Purge. Outreach. Celebrate booming sheep industry. Electricity too. Let's see if I can push there with support anyhow. I shall travel logistics for a little extra strength. Rapid air rotation. Ten rules of engagement further. Their airstrike cover up. Security checkpoints. And the last set of national soldiers. The anti-AD vehicle upgrades. Okay, tat there. Garrison for zone security, so I must look at insurgent camps and Puxter Joya. Alright. Heavy ordnance. 10 the rules. Civilian casualties even further. Precision munitions, so I can get more freaking airstrikes. I only assume with such low tight rules on engagement. Yeah. These guys need more support. Let's do that. Tuberculosis eradication. 12% risk of civilian casualties. I didn't even know you could get the risk that well. I've never seen it go that way before. Strike solely when absolutely necessary. New museum, improve oversight because corruption. That's hurting my support. Strategic communications for more support still. Do a sweep for camps. Peace talks may or may not have an ulterior motive. Democrat transition. For the support, the instantaneous support. Plan elections. Postpone. I don't actually lose anything, so I'll just postpone them. Industrial apprenticeships on the rise. Oh, I could publicly accuse the rival at this point instead of cell pressure. Oh well. Rapid air rotation. Useful, perhaps necessary. Say tight rules of engagement. Peace talks. I don't know if regional census helps me find camps and they pop up quicker, but couldn't hurt. Insurgents can set up a party. There's no reason to antagonize them. Actual democracy, even if you don't like someone, you have to participate. Wow, how reprehensible you find the views. Prison some insurgent leaders, those who committed obvious crimes. Short extension, I shouldn't actually need a motor. A long one at this point. Both sides apologize. Both sides, after all, commit crimes such as covering up airstrikes, may I mention. Send apology for hitting civilians there. 10 the rules engagement 29% risk of civilian casualties. National soldiers, I'm pretty sure, are stronger at this point. Surgeons hand in heavy weapons. People should have the right to defend themselves with smaller weapons. Surgeon capability 2%. Most international forces withdraw. So it's not puppet state being set up. My score will be like negative a zillion. But postpone elections more for reasons of money than anything. Speaking of which, drones. Further concessions, or at least further things to be decided on. Corrupt. This airstrike, there's still some hypocrisy. Here. Combat sensors. Park, improve with oversight. It's more to improve support levels. Well, not more things to debate? Maybe not. Donate to charity. Yes, please. And civil immigration. Maybe I can... No, I'm not going to stabilize anything in such a short time. At this point, the concessions are so I can stabilize more zones. See if I gain more events. Things I've never seen before. Who knows? Garrison there. For sure. It's an unruly area. And further concessions. These guys help roll stuff out. New hospital, improve with oversight. There's corruption. Rapid drone rotation. Almost an hour here. I should probably get wrapping this up. Let's see, other things in my mind. Had some people continuing to harass me with just pop up my videos and downvoting. Also, somebody I didn't know is leaving these ridiculous comments. I made a politics video about Trump is sending people to concentration camps because the Seacout thing meets the Actually, U.S. Holocaust Museum definition of concentration camps. So by our own definitions, it's concentration camps. And someone said, oh, the majority of Americans support this. And I point out, no, they don't. It's polls show they don't. And there's also, when it comes to elections, if you're referring to that, there's voter suppression. Here's the ridiculous thing. Makes me think this guy wasn't even actually American. He somehow misinterpreted the word voter suppression as voter impression, which I never wrote even once. It's gotta be it's actually a troll in some other country. And elections, this probably got so much money. Keep donating charity. The basis for an actual stable society. Because I cannot imagine how anyone could mix those two words up if they were actually a native English speaker. Could just be trolling of the guy intentionally pretending he saw a different word they did. So I started to leave a comment about how well I worked as a political organizer in the past, and I sent these guys home to boost support. Personally seen voter suppression with outdated voting machines going to poor precincts, while the richer ones in rich areas got brand new machines, even though they all drew out of a common budget, so it couldn't be justified of like, oh, there's this less tax money to spend. No, because these were all precincts that were sharing the way it was set up there, a common elections budget. Yet the poorer precincts, the voting stations were more poorly labeled. In fact, I visited one of the stations set up for early voting, and it was like impossible to find where you were actually supposed to vote in one of the buildings. It was very poorly labeled. I never saw that anywhere I ever voted myself, where I always lived in Walter areas and that. And when I was at like the HQ for elections, all of these reports of voting machines breaking. I actually was at the government office that monitored this. As the chief committing human rights violations. And yeah, there were all these reports coming in of these precincts that just happened to be in poor areas. Having voting machines breaking down in hours-long lines, and nothing like that coming out of the wealthier precincts. No way that was a coincidence. It's voter suppression. In America, you do that, and then they say, I'm not going to wait in line 3 hours to vote, because some of the lines were being reported literally 3-4 hours. So what do? They they go home, they don't vote, and the voting doesn't really represent the will of the population. It just so happens people who are being underrepresented are poor, more often minority. It's not a coincidence. Air quote, just so happens. Do that. That's going to cause the camp to spawn there. But this will allow me to put national soldiers here, which won't antagonize the population well. Same way coalition ones will. Keep demanding concessions. Sometimes the surgeons less than rejecting the peace deal. Booming saffron yields. Saffron? This area? Industrial support. I don't know. And I've stabilized the whole region. Donate to charity. Max out support. My score, negative 11,165. Oh god. That was kind of fun. I mean, And what's a game if you're not having fun? If the pricks who made this game want to make things overly difficult for no reason, it didn't give me the interesting. Maybe I did fake news on that one and Home by Christmas. I guess I can only do one at. Oh, that was no. Set to brutal. Activate. Weird. I guess you can only get one at a time. I don't know why you would actually care to get those little metal things on them, but oh, maybe some negative scores don't count. Who knows? Well, I hope you folks enjoyed that nonsense. Take care of each other. By the way, I mean like the cheating nonsense. But anyway, take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next time, it's Northstar. Adieu. Best luck.